Hello, everybody. I am your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. This is the Neon Caster Twitch channel, and we are back with our penultimate session of Phantom Arts Fest. God, it's been a cracking weekend. Thank you, everybody who's been both participating and tuning in across the weekend, giving your support. It really hypes me up to know that everybody is so excited to tell such amazing stories. Speaking of stories, this game has been in the oven a little while. I've been chatting with a friend of the show, Tom, for months about building a tabletop RPG together, and finally, after much testing and surprisingly little arguing, we are ready to give our first internet debut of an experimental system called Stories of the Singularity. But before we get into that, let's introduce our players, whom you all know by now. You know them all astoundingly well. First of all, we have Juicy Garland.
Hi, yeah, I am Juicy Garland, a Boston area drag queen and super nerd. I've been having a great time as part of Phantom Arts Fest the whole weekend. This has been a really fun time, and I really thank you for it.
No, it's been delightful to have you across all of these games, demonstrating all your cool tabletop skills. Ruben, who has just finished running the session of Heart, that new crack of bone. How are you feeling?
I'm on my fainting couch. But no, I'm on my fainting couch and I'm here for it. Hi everyone, I'm Ruben. If you tuned in for Heart, yeah, I GM'd that shit. You can watch the VOD. It is super cool. It's super amazing. I'm also a writer. My first fiction story in 2 years just went up. You can check my Twitter profile or my Medium page at Urban Friend Den to go give it a read. It's got pirates and it's got horror.
I love me some pirates and some horror. I'm specifically on a podcast where I deliver both of those things in large quantities.
Oh shit! I thought you. What a call out! Damn. Yeah. No, I've been stealing your work.
Oh hell yeah! I love that. Perfect. Last but absolutely no means least, our GM for today's session, Tom.
Thank you for the introduction, Nathan. It's been a very fun weekend of some great games being played, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what absolute anarchy gets inflicted on this one, and the wonderful medium of tabletop simulator, which is going to be running.
Yeah, we'll navigate. We managed to do a tabletop simulator-based stream on Friday that went pretty well, so I believe. Why don't you tell the people out there how this system go down? What is it based on? What will we be doing?
So the system's fundamentally based on the games by the Project Moon. More specifically, the utterly fantastic Library of Ruina game, which I heartily recommend to anybody to play, or at least watch through, because it's a really hard game, and I've got 100 and something hours through it, and I haven't completed the damn thing yet, which might foreshadow this session. But fundamentally, the core concept of the game was all around dice rolling and deck building. And after Nathan gave it an air on the channel, I believe it was in one of the
we did a Cyberpunk Book Club session of it. Yeah.
That was it. Yeah. And like, wouldn't it be quite cool if you could murder people and steal their soul in the form of books and pages and use that to enhance your character with? And those Stories of the Singularity sort of kicked off as an idea. So this is very much going to be the beta test of it. As we go into the cyberpunk depths of the city with our new group of fixers and see what mysteries can be unfolded and horrible creatures vanquished.
And with that, let's move over to gameplay footage and bring you Stories of the Singularity.
Okay, so we shall have an introduction just of a picture of the board here. We have our lovely characters who are arranged at the bottom. We'll do some camera work in a moment as everyone can introduce themselves. The large central board will be used during some of the combat sequences. And then this area over here, which is the area of mystery, which the players can't see into, I'd ask the viewers to ignore. There's nothing they need to worry about. It's fine.
Secret, hidden.
Exactly. So, the city for which this adventure is going to take place is a giant sprawling metropolis, split up into 26 districts, each ruled over in an area called the Nest by one of 26 quite shady corporations who rule the city in some level of iron grip. Each of the districts are somewhat unique in their technological advancements and cultures, and our tale today is going to follow a group of fixers in District 16, a thriving sector famed for its great abundance of street food, which caters to even the most discerning of palates. The fixers who operate currently outside of the Nest for our particular low office in the areas known as the back streets, the all-around handymen of the city, handling their clients' various cases and incidents. Most of the time, in order to contract a fisher officially, one must drop on the door of an office that's authorised by an association and basically pay money to hire them, which will usually end up doing various amounts of dirty work on the part of corporations. Our particular office today, however, is a little bit of an unusual one, and going by the name of Eight Ball Office. This relatively small fixer organisation was set up by as lost to the mists of time, private investigator who, in the times after he'd set up the office, went mysteriously missing. However, left in his office, almost bored into a hole on the table, as though it's been resting there for many a time, was a magical 8 ball and a round trilby, which has gathered dust and sits on the table as some sort of relic. Which
no one has worn it since.
Yeah,
exactly.
It feels cursed. Don't do it.
The cursed trilby and the 8 ball. And this 8 ball, our group of fixers have become somewhat adept at interpreting its mysterious symbols and readings, and going out and solving tasks which usually involve defeating of strange creatures known as abnormalities, which are mysterious entities of somewhat myth that can stalk the darker parts of the city, can cause chaos and mayhem for the people living there. So I think that's probably a good opportunity for us to meet our group of fixers who'll be travelling the city this eve. So I think we'll go from left to right as we stand on the screen. Juicy, if you want to start with your fixer.
Yes. So say hello to Joy. She is we'll say, nearly former nurse of slightly grim disposition. She, of course, is thrilled to be part of this organization, largely because she can't handle living patients particularly well.
Wonderful. And what would Nurse Joy's signature weapon that she takes to the streets to defend herself with be?
I think that she carries with herself a set of scalpels.
Very fitting. Very fitting. And moving across to yourself, Nathan, I believe you'd be next.
Yeah, Sazerac is a solid history as a gambler, not those throwing their money away on roulette types. This is skilled gambling. This is both learning to play and hustling other people at pool in particular. Unfortunately, having done a job hustled the wrong people who hustled back even harder using corporate level technology to cheat. He now has an overwhelming amount of gambling debt and has turned to working for an office as a way to go and earn that money back. And it seemed that the 8-ball office was thematic enough to want to join.
And last but not least, Ruben, all for you.
So I will be playing Crackdawn, a street rat turned investigator. He thought, well, there's so many mysteries in the city. I think I can solve one or two, and didn't like them being solved so much as doing the solving himself. So now he goes out into the street doing detective work that will preserve the mystery for what it was, an encounter with the perplexing, not anything to be solved.
Lovely. So, with introductions of the fixers done, we will zoom into our office itself. The 8 Ball office, a good 3 or 4 stories above the bustling markets of the sector. The smell of sesame oil pretty much perpetrating every single area of this office. And we'll find our 3 fixers, presumably spending the afternoon, passing time as how the fixers would as they've come in this day. You want to say how your characters have all, what they're up to this day as we're waiting for jobs to come in after a quiet spot.
There isn't room in the office for a pool table, much to Sazerac's chagrin, but we have managed to instill another game of some kind that we tend to play recreationally to spend time.
Is it foosball?
I like that, actually. Yeah. It's a very luxe looking foosball table. It's, it was definitely acquired off the back of a truck somewhere. It's we didn't buy it officially from any kind of recreational retail, but it is ours, and Sazerac has probably made a bunch of tiny alterations to it so he can cheat.
Perfectly sensible. Point is, the day is relatively early morning. There's light coming through the grimed and oil-soaked windows. It'll be the point that you will hear the sound that you've probably been waiting for a few days now, as the sound of an 8-ball spinning on wood coming from the office. It would have been the former head of this particular fixer's location.
Crack Dawn, I think, looks up from a book of Sudoku puzzles that he is altering to be unsolvable. He looks up and says, "Everyone, I think our boss has got another job for us."
Joy is in probably a love seat, a wide, almost couch, half asleep with a medical manual upside down on her face. She's probably going to just sort of stir a little bit, throw the book off, and just look at you square in the eye and go, "What's it want?"
I guess that means we have a job to go to do. It's good too. We were running out of liquor money for the office.
Indeed. Well, you'll find your way to the central office where the curiously well-polished oak table, where the ball itself is currently rotating very at a sort of relatively fast rotation. Almost, you feel like the anticipation in the room, almost like it's begging to be shook.
Hey, dibs not me. Sazerac puts his finger on his nose.
Not me. I hate that thing.
Joy's just going to roll her eyes and punch it.
Lovely. The ball, under the amount of force you've just put under it, will shake, and you'll see the water that makes up the interior of it start to distort slightly, and you'll see 3 images appear, one after another. The first, a faint newspaper. The second, a luminous blue train. And then the final one, a package. It then looks like it's about to try and resolve a 4th image, but the ice in the centre of it will float to the surface and say, "Response hazy, please try again later."
Was the newspaper recognizable?
No, it was just literally what looked like a broadsheet. The fact that it flashed up relatively faintly based on your previous experience of these sort of things suggests that that would more be a light clue, whereas the other two were very much more the actual task itself. So I think if anyone's feeling particularly bright at the moment, we could have some logic checks. Be probably a relatively easy one, so the DC is only going to be 5. But logic being a blue skill, so you can choose to roll whoever wants to do it, or everyone can do it. You can throw a couple of dice into it.
I will, I guess, go with a logic test.
Do you have a bunch of blue dice to use?
I do. So let's roll 3, because I have a logic +3. So let's see
Okay.
here. That's a 5, a 3, or a 6 rather, and a 1.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh, very good. So those dice leave your pool, but you can move them to the side of them. For people paying attention to the rules, the dice pools can empty. However, they refresh again once all dice have been used. Thus, as the proportion of dice can change, which makes some decisions or combat choices a bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you've already pretty much ascertained that the faintness of the newspaper is more a light clue, and from you've probably even, to be honest, seen this before, and it's almost quite literally saying, "Go and have a look at newspaper." The package is probably as much as that it's likely related to the image prior to it, which is the luminous blue train. Have a nurse show with your logic check. The particular shade of blue that sort of tweaks something in the back of your mind. There is a net, as well as a sort of more regular subway system and tramway system that operates in the city. There is also one other form of transport, which is known as the warp train, which is run by the transportation company, the imaginative W Corp. And this particular train has an unusual phenomena where when it departs a station from anywhere in the city, it will immediately arrive at another station in the city with only 10 seconds passing, regardless on the distance.
Okay.
I asked Joy. So, what does it say? Are we gonna be train conductors?
Maybe. But at least for now, we need to find a newspaper, and we need to find a train. Probably the warp train.
Have you ever ridden one of those? Those are quite expensive.
Not that I can recall. There may have been one time when I was really drunk. But that train could have just been normal. Who knows?
Yeah, time seems to slip a little faster when you're having a good time.
And when you're 3 sheets to the wind.
Mm-hmm. But how about you, Crackdawn? Have you ever ridden a warp train?
I have actually, but not paid a ticket for it.
Oh, lucky. Where'd you
Yeah,
go?
the underside of it. Warping when you're not in the cabin is don't have lunch before that.
Sazerac blinks at you in a way that you can tell that he does not believe you.
Hey,
yes, well.
ask me how I know that.
I assume that because you're not a red smear on a floor or a wall, that might not have been quite what the story that you told, but I'm not going to question that. What I am going to go do is go and get a newspaper. Looking out the greasy windows. Whose turn was it to clean the windows again?
Not it.
It was me. I just I didn't want to. I think that's the truth of it.
Well, after we get the clue from this newspaper, I think you could get to use it as a cleaning cloth, Sazerac says as he puts on his big, oversized white tech wear coat and leaves the office to go get a newsie.
Okay. That's a bit ominous. Oh well, that's fine. So you'll find yourself wandering around in the head down to the streets. It's early on in the day, but the various smells of street food slowly starting to be cooked will assault your senses, as you're pretty used to now. And you'll be able to probably pretty easily acquire yourself a newspaper from one of the local vendors. However, as you are having a wander around, would you mind making me some sort of notice-based check? My observation roll. I'm just double checking my.
Keeping my wits about me, looking around.
Yeah.
Could I suggest will?
Yeah, I think that's quite appropriate.
Together, keeping focused. All right. A 3 plus my 1 is 4.
Okay. It seems a little bit quieter this morning, but nothing you particularly notice.
No problem.
Okay. So you'll return, and presume you can have a bit of time reading through the this particular broadsheet. We'll go for the sector 11, wasn't it? I remember that. Yes. Sector 11 Gazette, and having a bit more of a pick through. I know we've done logic quite a bit at the moment, but I think logic's probably the most appropriate for
yes.
Who would like to more for time taken than anything else.
Yeah, this is good. I'll have a go at logic.
How many dice you spending?
I need the 1, baby.
Okay.
Let's go. That's a 3 plus 3 in logic is a 6.
Okay, that's actually probably going to be relatively sufficient for you to pick through and find the article that you almost, as you're reading through, it's like gauging the reaction from the 8-ball as you're sort of panning through this while sort of trying to piece from the clue. But the piece that catches your attention amongst the various bits of politic and the like is a small article on a recent controversy around leaked minutes between the new L Corp, new as in the Greek letter, and a deal struck with W Corp. And the leak from the minutes had revealed that apparently using warp trains as which civilian transportation as a means of shipping packages from all disused L Corp labs, and obviously the corporate response is that this is truly disgraceful. We will find out who's been leaking these minutes and see that they're thoroughly disciplined about it. It's obviously not in the public interest.
Crackdown's face widens into a smile, revealing shark teeth. He goes, "Folks, we've got corporate dispute. This might be the big one.
Oh.
This might be a lot of liquor when we're done."
Yeah, I wonder if this means that W Corp is paying, considering they're trying to keep everything under wraps. But I am interested to see what if the rumor's true. If there really are packages on those warp trains.
And
Well, there's only one way to find out.
and who knows, they might not miss one or two, and if we find our hands on it.
I guess we're taking a ride to the other side of the city in 10 seconds. I wonder, what would be a nice... We don't need to assign a letter sector to it, but what's like a part of the city that we'd never get to go to? Like, it's too fancy for us lowlifes to get to visit.
Oh, maybe it's like not a letter but a number.
The fabled 1.
Yeah.
Sector 1.
Which I believe is central sector, as the city's sort of laid out. So, yeah, that's a very sensible approach. You know that there is the train system itself does tend to be hubbed pretty close to the nest, so you probably have to have a bit of a wander to get towards there.
To even find the train station, sure.
Yeah, the oddity with the warp trains themselves as well is they're generally the tracks are very high up. They'll tower above a lot of the smaller buildings. Although as you get close to the nests, they tend to be bigger buildings around there anyway. So, but you probably almost see these things ringing. Maybe the occasional telltale flash of blue when the train leaves the station. So we shall start your wanderings into the city as you each progress. I assume who is taking the 8-ball with them?
Not it.
I'll take it. It seems like no one else wants to, so I'll just deal with it.
Wonderful.
Put
Just
a little
on
dog collar on it, drag it behind as it sort of weirdly floats.
Just on relatively good notes, it's a little bit of a phenomenon to itself, as you're all obviously aware, but there have been situations where the ball has been lost. Even one particular example where a particularly clumsy fixer managed to throw the ball under a road roller, completely destroying it, only to find it reformed in the office less than 24 hours later without an area mark on it.
That wasn't my fault. My hands were greasy from the evil kebab.
I told you, you had to wash your hands after eating.
I licked them off. It works the same.
Okay. So, with the due, we shall head out into the city. So, nice chill music up. So you'll be making your way through the back streets on probably what's quite a bit of a journey out towards the station. So what I'd like for the other two characters who are not Nathan to make a will roll as you're just to notice things that are going on.
Oof, okay.
You don't have to roll if you don't want. I believe will is red.
Yes, a red stat.
Oh, Will's red. Okay.
die.
You
Thank
may
you for
choose.
that reminder.
I rolled a 6.
I did too.
Hey.
If you want to roll it
wonderful.
without having to fling it, you can tap R while hovering over it to give it a roll.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. So, you two being slightly more observant than Sazerac was, but not hugely so. We'll sort of notice as you're taking one of the sort of side streets to get more slightly onto the main drag, which will take you towards the W train itself. And you realise that you've been followed. Several scruffy-looking characters who probably to designate as the general term street rats, who I believe Ruben certainly would identify with, appear to have blocked off your means of egress in this alleyway. As somebody steps out of from behind, I feel probably round the corner in a dramatic fashion, as a gentleman will appear. Which will,
Heads up, we've got company.
Oh boy. Can't things ever go smoothly?
he'll smile some sort of greetings to you, say, 8-ball office. I've been waiting for you all to make your appearance out. The name's Jacques of Jacques' Bistro. Now, I've had it on good authority from the Hook Syndicate that you're behind on your payments currently for securities, he'll say.
Have you considered that, no, we're not? And as Crackdown says it, he takes a scabbard and unsheaths from it a gnarly-looking crowbar and rests it on his shoulder.
You have a sheath for a crowbar. That's amazing.
That's amazing. I like it. Jacques will look not intimidated by this and will clap his hands slightly, and you'll hear the sort of mechanical noises of a droid walking round the corner. Droids in setting, not actual robots, they're merely cyborgs, but this one tends to be somebody who's basically sold their body on the cheap for cheap labourers' equipment, which means that they can basically work all day with minimal needs. But still suffer the drawbacks of the human psyche of wanting to eat and sleep despite not needing to. Well,
got a bucket of bolts, got an old man, and hey, I recognize you. And Crackdown looks at the street rat. Chuck, is that you?
I don't know him, boss. I don't know him.
Oh, hey, no, that's lactose intolerant Chuck.
Oh, you told me about lactose intolerant Chuck, and
He's,
why his name wasn't always Chuck until the lactose intolerant kicked in.
Until the incident, yeah.
We start gossiping about Chuck.
Yes, there was the infamous Brie incident.
Oh my god, the infamous Brie incident. We can't talk about that. That's not a conversation to have in polite company.
I mean, 12 people died. I had to inform the family.
Runny going in, runny coming out.
Oh god. Hey, how's everything with the lactose, Chuck?
My name's Barry, all right? Stop it. Jack just sort of elbows him to the side. It's like, anyway, I feel we're getting away from the point, which was the Local Association was quite happy to sell your deck to us to collect. He'll produce a very not particularly sanitary looking cleaver, grin slightly and say, obviously we're not going to kill you, but we may take a few cuts just to tide us over for a bit.
Sazerac gives a smile, and one of his hands emerges from the oversized sleeves, and he's carrying a cue ball, and it starts crackling with electricity. Oh, there's a reason why they were so eager to go and pass on those debts, mate.
Ooh. And I think with that note, we will drop into combat.
Let's go!
Hot dog!
So, you'll be fighting 3 opponents. We have our rats, who are represented by Chuck here, who have a lot of health but panic quite easily. We have our chef themselves and the droid. And then, I shall grab things out of the mysterious box of mystery over here.
Ooh.
Oh.
So, rat ambush, stage, the back streets. Underlings are cowardly. On a round wherever the chef or labourer is reduced to 0 health, all underlings will immediately panic. So let me grab these out. So the way this game works combat-wise, the initiative will be rolled for each of the enemies, and their speed will generally dictate the number of attacks they're going to make. The enemies will also have a pool of dice to defend with, potentially, but follow the same rules as the players of red dice for smashing people in the face, blue dice for defending with, and the 2 stats being health and stress. When stress reaches 0, you panic and generally don't have a good time of things.
If health reaches 0, well,
Yeah, bad things kind of happen.
There's a lot of people in the chat who are used to D&D where there are saves against death. Nah.
No.
Let me just do some minor tidying. So I've got all these here.
Negative health? What's that? No, we don't do that.
Who is she?
Well, that one and that one. Because we decided to get rid of the unopposed strikes because I don't actually need those because I can just be smart with it. We get rid of that one and that one. Joys of minor tidying up being required.
It's fine. While that's going on, shall we roll our speed dice so we know where we're going?
Yeah, I think that's
Yes.
So at the start of a round, we roll this white die, and it determines how fast we are at the start of combat. 1. Of course I go last. Oh
Lovely.
no!
High speed. Fortunately, the rats haven't done particularly well themselves, so we'll have Jacques going first, and he is only going to be able to make 1 attack because he's rolled quite low. Initiative 2. Let's go pick on. Let's pick on Juice for that. Would you mind just ooching that thing just across a little bit?
I absolutely can.
I'm going to put a Season the Main Course attack at Initiative 2. The droid got a 1, which means he's only going to be doing a defensive wall, which means he's going to have 1 blue dice to play with to attempt to intercede on an attack that goes up against one of his friends. And then the rats actually got 5, which means they're actually going to do their full suite. So we'll go for that one at 5, going to Nathan. Let's pick on. Ruben did technically murder my character in the last game, so I'll throw 2 attacks.
You chose that yourself.
The enemy. If I know who to pick on. So the enemies have allocated their attacks. So they have 1 blue dice to defend against any unwanted attacks coming their way, but.
So we've got our enemy attacks set up. We get to decide what dice we're allocating. We can spend up to 3 dice from our pool of any color. My rowdy boy Sazerac has a lot of offensive dice, so I'm going to be using my red dice to do big smacks. How many attacks does this have? It's just 1, so I'm going to put 1 against that, and I'm going to save 1 for my turn, and then 1 defensive die just in case.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm gonna allocate 1 blue die for my defense. No, actually, I'm gonna go for 2.
If you want, remember it's only 1 per dice roll, so you won't need to acquire multiple to clash against the one red. So if you just want to put your 1 blue on that one or 1 on that one,
okay, gotcha.
How are you doing it? But actually, apologies, that's actually a blue dice. Sorry.
You only got the 1 attack? Yeah. Do you want
I only got the 1 attack. It's got a defense dice.
Do you want to go and allocate any additional attacks that will be unguarded?
Baby, you know it.
Nice.
Would make sense to add another attack die to it, right?
Well, you can spend up to 3, but you don't have to. Remember, you don't get to refill your pool until it empties. So you get to choose at the rate you spend all the die from your pool.
Oh, I'm going in, like rich homie Quan once said.
How would you like to go and spend your dice, Joy?
Yes, so I shall defend, and I will allocate 2 reds.
In sync!
Nice.
Because I want to tear this sucker down.
Nice.
Love it. So that's going against our chef who doesn't have any defense dice. However, the robot labourer will use his he can't intercede. He's too slow. Oh dear. So he's basically come stomping around the corner and can't do much. The rat does, however, have 1 defense dice with run, which will put against your. No, actually, probably put against your dice down there, Nathan, just to.
When that resolves later. Cool. Hold that until initiative 1 rolls around. We're good.
Yeah. So we shall work from top to bottom. Are there any cards players want to allocate to their rolls?
Ooh, shall we do that on each stage of initiative so people have time to decide?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll start with the first attack, which is going to be the shank from the rat underling.
Yeah, hitting me with a red +1, so you're going to roll 1 red die and add 1 to that value, and that will be the damage of the attack. However, I am going to do the same. I'm rolling 1 red die, but I have +3 behind this attack because I'm quite forceful. So whenever you're ready,
go for it.
3 + 3 is 6.
Okay, as that was a red versus a red, that will mean the damage will entirely go through. So you will deal a full 6 points of damage to the Chuck.
As Chuck starts running towards me, Sazerac pulls out one of those pool balls, and you don't necessarily even see him wind up and throw, just as the pool ball cracks this guy in the jaw.
Love it. Then we shall go left to right. So we have a slightly more. What's one? We have the season the main course. Are you using your blue against in the order that they are on the thing, Juicy? Fair.
Yes. So I definitely want to defend against his attack.
Okay. So we'll go for the first stab, which will be red +2.
All right. So that's 6, and my logic is +3.
Okay.
So it's higher.
You actually win by 1, which will mean you will inflict a point of stress upon the chef.
Goody.
As he's been unable to get you. However, he's got another attack, so now he'll be doing his red +1 attack versus your next red dice.
All right.
You gotta
So
save.
that's a 3 + 2 for force.
Okay, so he gets 6, so he will be successful on his stabbing of you.
Oh, shoot.
Stabs
So
you for
you'll-
6 health. Oh no, that's a lot.
Oh, God.
That is quite a lot.
He'll also inflict 1 point of bleed,
The one
which
thing you said we shouldn't get.
which will mean he'll deal 1 more point of damage going forward.
Okay, excellent. And then I have 1 more attack against him.
Unguarded.
Yep, this will be unguarded, so this will go straight through.
Huzzah! Roll, please. Let's try that. I hit the R. Where's it going?
Ooh, you're not
It might be-
hovering over it.
Yeah, sometimes they're a bit finicky.
There we go. 2 + 2 is 4.
Okay, so 4 damage is inflicted upon the chef. Moving across, we've got the rat trying to defend against Sazarak's electric balls.
But
All right, let me go and throw another one. Could
Okay,
ja.
1.
4 + 3 is 7. Take 7 damage, nerd.
Okay, 7 damage is inflicted. 6 damage is inflicted because the
Oh, yep,
will
it
be 1.
reduced by 1. Yes.
Okay.
Chuck.
Yeah, another one kind of whips out from the sleeve and cracks the guy in the kneecap.
His
Yeah.
name is now Carl for some reason.
Oof. And then moving to Ruben, you have the rat's last attack, which will be on a let's have a look. Red -1. So, which are you opposing that with a red dice or your blue dice?
I'm opposing that with my blue.
Okay, go for it. Oof.
So,
I think
let's see. What stat do I have?
The
your-
higher of your 2 blue stats.
Oh, baby, +3.
nice.
nice. So that is a difference of
6.
6. Oh no, the rat panics, having been reduced to 0 stress. So you may make your next 2 attacks. You can roll them both at once if you like, because they'll be
Entirely unopposed, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Crackdown looks Chuck, or former Chuck, now Carl, in the eye and goes like, "Hey, it's okay. I won't tell anyone about the breed." And does a, let's see, plus 2 each. So that is 4 and 3.
Okay, that is enough to knock Chuck out of the fight.
Knock Chuck out. Chuck died.
No, Chuck died. Yeah, indeed. Chuck has been defeated.
Good riddance.
So for this game, how graphic can I go?
Oh, please describe away.
Okay. I throw the crowbar up into the air, and Chuck's attention is on the crowbar. I punch him again, like where the electric balls hit prior, so making an even bigger dent in the skull. I grab the crowbar and hit him in the face with the pointy end, and he's just gone.
Chuck is completely removed from combat and possibly this plane of existence. Not played. So, first round.
You should have been lactose tolerant.
There are pills for that. Because I allocated a blue die and I've not spent it, that still goes out of my pool, even though it wasn't used. So you got to be sometimes judicious with the number of dice you use for a circumstance. But it's top of the round. We can now
It
roll
is.
speed again to see how well we do for the next round.
Indeed. We shall-
4.
And
Oop.
5.
Ooh.
Oh,
Hey.
we're not moving particularly quickly. We've got 3 on the droid, which is slightly better. Is that enough for him to actually do anything? No, it's not. He does not get to make his attack. However, he will be providing a blue dice this time.
Hey, if we punch him, he does have a blue die handy to protect himself with.
It's true. There we go. So let's go and establish that at initiative 3. Let's go for you this time, Nathan, because you look like you're. Jacques will be shouting out for some support, and there'll probably be, if it lasts another round, some more rats turning up if this goes on for another one. But I've got my suspicions it might not. But moving on to the players.
Okay, let's see. How do I want to go and unlock my action?
And Joy, your bleed token will be knocked off, and you'll take 1 point of damage from the nick you were given from the season the main course.
Oh, cool. I'm down to 0 health. What happened?
What? You died? Oh no!
Can I use a triage kit before that happens?
You absolutely can. So that'd be your.
I would love to.
Okay, so your triage kit is burned, which means it is completely used this combat. So you may delete it in its entirety.
It is gone.
Okay.
And so presumably you're after taking a riddling hit, you realise that you need to do something or you may bleed out. So basically managed to patch yourself up.
Yes, that was hopefully the goal. So I have to. So the bleed itself does not go away. I have to do something.
It's gone. It's only it's effectively an extra tick of damage.
Okay.
So now that that's gone, you're no longer bleeding, and you're back up to, I guess, 3 health.
3 health.
Yes.
Lovely. So
what a time to be alive.
I knew this game was going to occasionally just have a habit of murdering players.
That's how this goes. That is absolutely how
I
this
am
goes.
Unafraid. Happily will I die for the cause.
Love it.
Ruben's already allocated their dice.
Ooh, who are you allocating those against, Ruben? Would it be against the chef or the droid?
I want to. Let's see. Yeah, I want to allocate an attack against the chef. And,
Okay.
Okay. And I want to make sure that, because I'm highest in the initiative, I want to make sure that I use my intercede.
Ooh.
You can
Whoever
leap
gets
away in the attack that attack at initiative 3. You can leap in the way of that attack, so I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
If Joy's attack, nah, I'm leaping in front of that. You understand, right?
I absolutely understand. But we seem to only have one attack in the initiative. So what I'm gonna go and do is that at my initiative, I'm going to use my Shuffle Hands ability. Which means I can discard up to 3 dice from my pool and return that many dice of any color to my pools and then take stress. So I'm just kind of like, the abilities that I have allotted? No, it's these instead. We'll resolve that when turn 4 rolls around. But I am also going to allot... No, not these. I need to allot 2... 1 red and 1 blue.
Okay. Just limited things coming in your direction, but you can spend the dice to effectively refresh your pool if you like.
Absolutely am.
Lovely.
I want to defend as much as I can, and B, I want to refresh this pool of dice.
Okay. I think given they failed utterly last turn and a bit of a speed up, the droid, now having got into position, will attempt to do its interceding defensive wall to try and protect against your red attack on the enemy chef. That is you, Ruben.
Let's go.
Okay, let's rock.
Is that
that dice does not want to roll.
Hold on.
That's better.
That's 7.
Ooh, so you will knock 1 point of damage through as the defensive wall manages to protect him from the worst of the brunt of the assault. As the droid sort of stands in the way, and there's a clang of your crowbar on metal rather than soft cooked flesh. Juicy, presumably you're panting a little bit and taking up a defensive posture.
Oh, 100%.
And then we get round to Nathan. Ruben, were you wanting to... proceed in order first.
Initiative 4 action first before I get
Indeed.
by the chef. Activating Shuffle Hands. I have 3 minimum dice in my pool. I will spend 1 to put a blue die back in.
Okay. And take some stress.
And I will take 3 stress.
Do you want to? I think it's player's permission, but would you like Ruben to use his card and intercede on one of those attacks as he's allocated a dice for it, so you can potentially?
Well, I'll leave Ruben to make up to that decision as the attack comes around. The chef is running at me.
Yeah, I just like whack him through his droid defense, and then I see him going to Sazerac, and I just hop and skip behind him to get in his way.
So we're rolling this red +2 from the rat against your blue defense dice.
Yeah. Oh, ooh.
9.
Nice. So he got 6, so you'll inflict 3 points of stress onto him.
No. Don't think so, Jack.
And there is a second attack coming that you need to block as well, the red +1.
So that. Oh, and you will also deal 1 point of damage to him due to the special effect on your card. So that has used that dice. So I think we get to your dice now, Nathan.
Sure. Okay. Then I am going to spend my. What is that? That's +1. I'm confident. I'm gonna roll my red die instead of my blue.
Okay.
1 + 3 is.
Ooh.
Excuse me, is 4.
So you'll take 5 points of damage as the cut apparently is quite unpleasant, and gain yourself a nice bleeding token.
And I am bleeding. It's fine. I can take this. I have another 5 health remaining. I'm fine.
Nice. And then the bleed token will expire at the end of the round, dealing you
And
your
I
1
take
point
one
of damage.
point of damage.
If everyone would like to gather their dice and stop me from stealing them, because I am dice pilfering like it's going out of fashion, I apologise.
Now, question: the 2 dice I just used, do those go back into my pool because
The whole
pool
thing goes
refreshed?
back into the pool now.
That's what I thought. Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Despite his shouting, it doesn't look like there's more rats going to be turning up, but he's aiming to roll a bit higher on his old initiative this time, Jacques, and hopefully he'll get his tender eyes off. And then the droid. Oh, did he say?
I'm still 1.
2.
I got a 4.
Okay. So all the way at initiative 1. I don't think I've stabbed Ruben yet, so he's obviously tenderized it. He's got to tenderize all 3 of you before. Sorry, he's got to season the entire main course before does. We'll take the droid initiative 1 with powerful swing towards yourself, Nathan.
Okay.
And then he also has another dice floating for defending with at 5 and below, so potentially can defend. So, initiative 4, Juicy, if you want to place your dice.
Yeah, I would love to. So, question for ingredient prep: do I have to consume the card to activate it? Or
No.
does that...
Basically, as long as you have 2 red dice in your pool, you can use this attack. So whatever your
Excellent.
dice selection is, you need to make sure there are 2 red remaining.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So, I'm gonna allocate 1 of each.
Would you like that on against the chef again?
Yes. So, I'll put that, yeah.
Okay.
Targeting chef. And what am I going to spend? I'm going to spend the entirety of my pool. I am gonna spend. Oh, excuse me. Blue to block this specifically, and then 2 floating, which are going to be targeting the robot, but they're not part of that particular clash.
Lovely. And change up to the next round.
Nice. Thank you.
And then Ruben, you've allocated your dice successfully.
Yeah, it's the last I got.
Okay, so we will start with Nurse Joy. Are you wishing to play a card at this juncture?
So ingredient prep, I assume, is just automatically activated. Otherwise, no. Yeah.
Okay, so you'll activate your ingredient prep. So you will automatically succeed in this red clash. So you can roll your red dice for the damage.
Nice.
He has no blocks.
Perfect. So that is 5 plus 2 4, so 7 damage.
Would you like to describe your takedown of Chef Jacques?
Yep, so I whip out my scalpel and I just do one quick fluid motion and suddenly the head falls off.
Oh!
Jack looks surprised.
I would imagine so.
Yeah. Nathan, over to yourself.
Is there like that moment where it looks surprised and then there's the slow slide and then the head just falls off the body?
Oh
Bounces
yes,
along the
1000% anime vibes right now. And all she looks at him right in the eyes as it, starts to slide, and she just whispers, "Bon voyage."
Love it, love it. So there is just the droid left who, although expressionless, may have terror written across its face.
Yeah.
I think its its defensive wall will go against one of your red dice, Nathan.
Sure.
But we'll do the
resolve.
powerful swing first.
Yep. Okay, rolling to not get clapped. 5 plus, what's my logic one? 6.
Ooh, nice.
Ooh.
So you'll 4 points of stress damage to the droid.
But because we clashed, I take 2 damage anyway. Or is that if it's success?
Only on a
Unsuccessful
successful clash.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I live. I do not perish.
Huzzah.
Okay, then we'll have the defensive wall against
You,
your
on
next
the
dice.
other hand, might not get away so easily. Huh.
Whoa.
That is 7 damage.
Okay, so the defensive wall is successful and will deal you 1 point of stress as you clang across something less than squishy.
I think
However, this
holding the pool ball in hand just tries to clock the droid in the side of the head with it, and it's blocked. And like through gritted teeth, why won't you die already?
fortunately it seems wide open for your next attack.
Take this.
Oh,
Oh no!
Was that
I've
count?
been
It rolled
betrayed
off
by
the
the shape
board.
of the table. That's still 4
oh.
damage.
4 damage. Ooh, the droid is not looking happy.
Give up.
The droid rusts himself and decides that that'll do him for the day, and will flee very slowly from the party.
Tell them
leaving,
that the 8-ball office isn't to be fucked with.
You watch as the rest of the remaining rats scamper away, leaving you to survey your victory. So you have successfully defeated the Jacques Bistro reception.
I get to turn them into books, or at least all the people.
You
we killed.
will. So if we'll just gather up, we'll do a bit of admin and tidy everything up because I keep a nice clean table. And it makes
Because
it
my
slightly
pool
easy.
is empty, it refreshes just in time.
Same.
Indeed. That's cracked on.
Hey, let me go.
Little legs wiggling, little chibi legs. Like, no.
Let me go.
I can hear them wiggling too, like it's that like sound. Yeah.
Oh, I thought because of my knee tendons are very, very bad.
So everyone make sure that you've got all your dice that you started with. It should be on your character sheets if just to make sure
I
none
do.
of them. Okay, so we will have a loot roll. You technically killed 2 people in this, but I'm going to rule as though you'd defeated them all. So you will have. Let's roll a d6 each, and you can
Sure.
see what.
Okay.
Prize, like, what's in the loot crate? Well, hey.
Oh,
1. Yeah.
curses.
Wait, do I also roll something?
Yeah.
Yep.
Surprise.
5.
Oh, very nice.
Lucky.
So. Let's go and have a quick look at my little table. So you will have acquired several cards to add to your groups. We will have an endure
Ooh.
from the droid. We will have the where is it? Which one's
Oh,
that
that's
one?
nice.
Give me a second. Sorry, I'm just finding the right one.
So paralysis, I imagine.
There's another one from.
your initiative.
Yes, paralysis detracts from your initiative.
Gotcha.
There's actually 2 rolls on the droid table according to that one. and one on.
You only live once. One of my favorite cards in the game.
And the utterly fantastically named Gut Harvesting.
Oh!
Successful clash, inflict 1 bleed, and successful blue roll, regain 1 health. Very good.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
In this game, we are all but living books. Our stories are to be read and altered by others. Our book has space for 6 pages, which are our ability cards down here. So we currently have 3, so we have room to take on another page. I'm happy to let you two pick which cards you want first, and I'll take the remainder.
I'm partial to Endure.
And I would love Gut Harvesting.
Okay, then I will take You Only Live Once.
Gut
Lovely.
Harvesting is very on brand for me.
Yes.
I think so. Thought you might like that one. You will also acquire what is effectively the pseudo. There'll be a currency which is effectively credits, which will presumably hoover up. I will also rule that you have found some mysterious meats, which you'll be able to sit and consume to recover all your health that you may have lost from this encounter. Or if you have lost stress, however, please leave it as it is, as apparently the body heals faster than stress does.
I offer my meat to I think to Sazerac, because I didn't take any damage this round. Just to count that.
Yeah.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Nice.
And it recovers all of my health. How lucky.
yes. It's like, oh god, that nearly murdered you. Excellent.
This
Put me down
meat
to just
of
below half.
This meat of unidentified origins is delicious. And it's on a stick.
Tasty, unspecified meats.
It's like held towards the camera, like in the Truman Show. It's like product placement.
You will also acquire several what are known as petty pages, which are merely pages that don't have any particular combat ability, but tell you of the lives of these people. As Jacques, who was a bit of a cutthroat businessman who managed to acquire Jack's Bistro with a CK, his elder brother, and he basically managed to bump him off and impersonate him in order to take over the family business.
That's not nice.
The rat in question, you'll discover, was indeed highly lactose intolerant, and suffered from wandering name syndrome, which meant he was named for most of the setup.
Every time he took damage, a new name just.
Okay, so I think that probably covers us for the combat encounter. So you can now continue your journey across the city, which will remain relatively uneventful. I've got a track here that says generally chill investigation music. That'll do. So you continue your journey across the streets of Sector 11. And you will eventually reach the large imposing building which houses the station for the warp train, towering above the sort of smaller tenement buildings around, but with the great walls of the nest towering even above that. You suspect heading up to the station above will do a quite lovely view of the sector itself, as you're presumably passing towards lunchtime at this point.
Question. When or where do we buy tickets for the train?
I have a feeling we're about to find out.
It looks like there's some level of security at the bottom just for making sure no trouble causers get up to the station. But I suspect as you're going through the streets, there's probably a general, I would say, higher level of vagrancy, like the sort of tends to be of motor beggars and things around this area of the train station, with it being a transitory place. However, you do notice there doesn't appear to be that many people sort of coming out of the train station at the moment for how busy this place would normally be. There's probably a long flight of stairs on the way up, or an elevator. Assaulting Shinra building right here, people.
If it seems like bits and pieces of the station are maybe out of order, I have a feeling the lift might not be operational.
Is there any way to inspect it?
Yeah, you can head up there. I'm going to be pleasant. The lift is fully operational.
Oh, thank God.
Oh wow.
You probably meet a few people crowding in as you start heading towards it on the way up to the station. Head in, doors will close with a boop, and you'll start heading up. You'll notice it'll pass several levels that are probably more administration places before opening out into the station itself. To a scene of noise and bustle and a general feeling of you tend to get at a train station usually first thing on a commuter morning, although this is more at the lunch break. You can see, so the station sort of stretches out. There's only 2 platforms to it, but there's quite a lot of crowded people, and most of them look to be angrily shouting at attendants or banging on the ticketing machines somewhat.
Does anybody have particularly high will out of any of this?
No. I have a 0 will.
I have uno.
Okay. I also have 1 will, but I'm happy to take point on this. I go to, I think, the ritziest looking person on the platform in kind of like immediate conversational range.
Okay, you'll find a relatively bored-looking. Looks like you probably guess from his attire somebody who's come from the nest, being sort of snappy, sort of long coat, sort of quite well-fitting suit trousers and shirt. Who'll be looking at his phone, tutting somewhat audibly to himself. Go for it as you sort of glance in your direction as you approach.
Hey, buddy, would you mind letting me know what's going on here? It seems like there's been a spot of trouble with the trains today.
Oh, has there? He'll say with a tut. He'll point at the notice board, and it'll have, as you'd probably expect, the train departures, and two of them have been, the one that will be sort of due in next. They'll all have like which sector they're going to and the name of the station. However, the one that looks like it probably should have turned up about 20 minutes ago is just glitched and artifacting. It says, never seen anything like it myself. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, these trains pride themselves on being the fastest service in the entire damn city, and it's unheard of for one not to be running. And
yeah, you're going to be a little more than 10 seconds late, it looks like.
Tell me about it. You have to say the regular transport. I have any idea what it's like getting through the queues at Nest Security at this time of day?
Do you know how to refund your ticket? It's quite a complicated system. They don't want to let you do it.
Oh, I was of the opinion it was non-refundable, he'll say, looking somewhat surprised, and that little glimmer of hope, which I'm sure the con artist in you presumably picks up on quite happily.
Yeah, I'd like to make a will roll to talk to this guy. Well, why don't you let me take a look at your e-ticket, and I'll see if I can drum up something in the fine print for you.
Yep, please do.
I'm going to spend 2d6 on this plus my will.
Okay, that's probably a normal check, to be honest, because he's quite receptive to your thing, but probably not entirely
hedging my
trust.
bets.
Mm-hmm.
That is 5 plus 1 is a 6.
Ooh, so unfortunately he doesn't seem. I think I can sort out my own tickets. Thank you very much, I'll say, in a sort of irritated ways. I think he's might sort of see through the the facade a little bit, unfortunately.
Hey, suit
Hey,
yourself,
buddy.
buddy. Those tickets are expensive. I know how it be.
Hey, buddy, my friend asked you a question. Being very polite. Why aren't you being polite back?
Hey, whoa, I don't want any trouble. He looks like he's about to try and call for one of the station staff, but given the station staff are currently in the middle of the biggest glomp of passengers at the moment, he sort of no, no need for any bother. I'm just here to travel, so I'm inconvenienced as everyone else.
Yeah, so are we. We're trying to find out what is taking the train so long. So, you mind giving us a look at the ticket?
Fine, he'll say, offering the ticket across.
Great. Thank you so much for helping us out. See, this cracked on turns to Sazerac. See, this is how you talk to people.
Meanwhile, Joy's in the background just playing with a Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's
She knows
Cube.
this is not her game.
Rubik's Cube in one hand, 8-ball in the other.
Hey, you know, some people of a certain like of wealth like to play the game, as it were. And I guess he isn't that kind of money. Fair enough.
But anyway, I can't. I don't know what else to do with this ticket. I just saw that you wanted it, so I got it for you. Here.
Yeah, there's like so we managed to get to like the train platform okay without like, you know, having to run into anything like barriers or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I do wonder, is there actually any kind of ticket barrier?
I suspect it's probably one of these ones where the actual barriers themselves are on the actual very closest bit of the platform. So probably in like the station concourse, there's probably like 5 WH Smiths.
Okay.
Sorry, local.
I know. I understood that joke. I understood that joke just fine. They're all selling the same trashy like gossip magazine and like a single packet of Skittles between all three. Because it would be dangerous to be on the warp train tracks probably, but if they're not running, then at least we can kind of take a look around and see if there's anything interesting. I don't think Sazerac knows how the warp train works. Well, nor does anyone, I assume.
No, it's a very deeply kept W Corp secret, and definitely doesn't involve abusive time travel.
Absolutely, positively not.
So to that end, Sazerac's notion is like, well, maybe we get to see behind the curtain a little bit if we manage to get past the barrier and see what we can see from there. So he tries to use the pass to, you know, squeak open one of the doors and maybe look into the train track line and see if there's anything to be seen.
Okay. To be able to, the ticket lets you pass. It looks like a lot of people have probably done this, and then as the train's not turned up, probably stomp back to go and try and get refunds. So the train lines themselves, it's probably looks almost like a maglev track, I'd say, for the way these things are designed. Normally it'd be a very long sort of huge 12 to 15 carriage long train with the iconic warp logo on. If you've ever been on one of these, you get like a sort of funny, peculiar sensation of time passing. And then you just arrive at the next station, possibly with mild side effects like slight nail or hair growth, or the slight taste of copper in the back of your mouth.
Nothing to worry about there.
Absolutely not.
You got there in 10 seconds. That made it was worth it. It was
Yeah,
worth it.
exactly.
You got there in 10 seconds, so what if your Geiger counter's going off?
Point you will probably find interesting. You'll see there's like obviously partially probably hiding from the crowds of people. Several people in W Corp uniforms. Have I got anything for? Let's skip to investigation. Who were talking somewhat furtively amongst themselves. One who's looks like on a phone to somebody. We probably hear the lines. No, it still hasn't turned up yet. No. I'm aware that it set off. Yeah. There's no train here, boss. No train. No idea. It's just not here.
Can I maybe go over and try talking to them? Because I am educated and have a high logic, I was wondering if I could use logic to talk shop with them to act as if I'm part of the organization, like a contractor, trying to help them sort out what the issue is.
Absolutely. Feel free to go.
All right, I'm gonna put 2 blue into this.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I get? I got 7 plus 3 is 10.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. That you're probably able to bluff yourself quite successfully in this. There's one person there who looks relatively senior. The L-Corp uniform. You think it? I was going to say. I was going to try to come out with a particular uniform if you ever go around Japan, but everybody's in uniform if they're in a public job there. But it's very much a sort of very well cut blue sort of suit trousers affair with it's not quite a baseball cap. I'm trying to think what the term is. Nathan, you're more
like a station cap, like it's a
more like that with a
brim.
Yeah, with a bit of a sunscreen at the front.
Yep.
And you'll see they've got some what looks like a shock prod with them, which probably indicates that they're probably part of W Corp's more cleanup crew.
Right.
Who they'll be there with 2 juniors who look like they're sort of confused, stressed, but generally can't impact the situation. So they're sort of standing by while their superior is having an argument on the phone, which looks like it's going round in circles.
All right. Hi. Yes. I was sent here. I just received a call for support for the issue. Can you give me a rundown of what's going on?
On the phone just sort of waves one of the juniors to go and talk to you. They'll be so we'll go with a youngish lady who's probably in sort of the low 20s, short-cut ginger hair, and she'll say, yeah, of course. Sorry, you're with Corp Contracting?
Yes. I'm an independent contractor working with the organization. I'm called to help troubleshoot with this.
Oh, wonderful, sir. Well, if we can sort this out, this would be amazing. As far as I've heard, this is completely not something that's ever happened before. She'll take you over to. There's probably it goes up to the wall of the station, sort of a bit behind one of the pillars, and taps a code on a pad there, and it'll swing back to show a computer screen, which is probably the system of switches that denote the rail track that runs around. So, well, from what we can see, the train departed from the station, and then it vanished.
Were there any power surges prior to departure?
Well, there's some very peculiar readings. Some sort of point that one of the switches looks to have tripped. It'll be at this point, Joy will suddenly feel a vibration from the 8-ball. Like this might be something might have be highly relevant here.
Excellent.
And
could I possibly print out a report and get a map of the system so I can help diagnose what the issue is?
Yeah, I can arrange that. She'll disappear off to an office, and then come back with probably quite an anarchic printout, just several pages of reams of white paper with sort of holes running up and perforated edges.
It's a dot matrix.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So you presume you can go find somewhere quiet to sit, reconvening with the rest of the party at this point. Okay. So you sort of lay this out on the map, and you look at the. It's probably like a printout of a mixture of code and sort of several switches, which will make up the track and various points that swing across. And you'll note there's a very peculiar distortion around one of the switches. And as you've got the ball out at this point, I'm assuming, it suddenly starts to spin in a much faster way than it would normally, as though it's asking to be shook.
All right, I'll give it a wiggle.
You feel almost resistance as you're trying to do it, almost like it's connecting to another force. Does anybody else want to join in the shake?
This is some seriously weird shit, but if that's gonna help, I suppose why not?
Yeah, do we have
Excellent.
like a three-way shaking?
Ooh, we're going for the full three-way, are we?
Yeah.
Only on
Let me
a
rephrase
Saturday
that.
night. Only on a Saturday night, Tom. Absolutely.
Lovely.
Do
Okay.
you need to
Today's a
commit
day
any-
for church.
Do we need to
Busy.
roll some dice about it, or
No, not at all. So, let me just find my. Let's second. Okay. So, as you each grip the orb within your hands and give it a shake, it almost feels like it's resisting you, like it's trying to connect to something.
Can you hear a dial-up modem going off?
A little bit. And then all of a sudden, you see an image starting to form in the middle of it, but it almost looks like the water in the orb is boiling. Yet you feel almost tendrils of frost start ringing out from the center of the 8-ball.
Jesus Christ, Sazerac, let's go over the 8-ball. It's probably now free floating anyway.
You can attempt to try. It'll probably drop if you do, but I feel at least one of you will have your hands caught and fully gripped to it. But anyone who wants to let go at this point may.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep holding on to it.
Oh, me too.
Okay, so this will be quite good from Sazerac's perspective, as you'll suddenly see like a pair of them gripping this ball, and you'll see an image appear on the surface of the ball. It's a star. It glows the most ethereal of blue. And you see your two friends, their eyes roll up into the back of their heads, and they look up to the stars above. For Crackdown and Joy, you experience the strangest out-of-body experience as you're drawn upwards, looking down upon the city. You feel a blazing presence behind you, and below you as well. You can follow it down the line of the tracks as it got to a point sort of midway down them and then out. It looks like some sort of junkyard. And then you hear a sound. Sounds like a pulse of a sonar. It draws you to it, but pushes you away as well. You don't know what the sound is, but intrinsically you just know it as the sound of the star, and you want to go and see it, but you know what it promises you is destruction and life unending. And you may add the abnormality card, the sound of the star, the nostalgic sound, to your books.
Oh no,
Okay.
I'm so glad I let go of that fucking thing. Oh no. So,
how do I turn this card over?
F will do it.
Okay.
You feel a page be added to your book as though it's been written there, and it's a strange thing. It wriggles amongst your soul like it truly doesn't belong there. As you hear this sound and know intrinsically where that train is and what's on that package. And I think that might be a good point to have a break.
hey!
Hey, look at that.
Amazing.
Good timing.
Work. Good God. Stress. Sweating. The shakes.
Hey,
Goodness me.
that's-
Okay.
Stars are good. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
absolutely.
This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you for the follow, Cold Fusion, by the way. Sorry, we tend to not respond to chat too much while we're live. while we're in the middle of storytelling time, but your presence is appreciated. We are going to be taking a 5-minute break, getting the nerves out, and when we return, the Blue Star. See you soon. Hello, everybody. We are back. We are back with more stories of the Singularity, the deck-building OSR tabletop RPG inspired by Library of Ruina. It turns out, not to toot my own horn or to toot our horns, but we've designed a pretty fucking good game, I think. It's been very, very, very fun to play so far. Although things are about to stop being fun and are about to get spooky as we have connected with the stars above and gained an unusual item to our books. So why don't you tell us a little bit about abnormality cards, Tom?
Yeah, so abnormality cards. In a normal situation, players can acquire these by effectively breaking their own ego, which is a tracker, which it's effectively, if you played any game with like fate points, it's something along those lines. It's one of the consequences. And the actual rules themselves, it's designed for over a few sessions where if you keep breaking the rules, eventually you connect with one of these abnormalities, of which there's a whole host of different varieties of them, which add special cards to your book. The problem with abnormality cards is, unlike regular cards, they can't be removed by any normal methods and effectively take up that space. The other thing about them is they have proliferation criteria, which means if a certain situation comes up or you break your ego again too many times, you will acquire more pages of them. And if you'll note on this particular card in question, the nostalgic sound, any references to X on it is X is the number of abnormality cards you've got. So they tend to be both more powerful the more copies that you have, but also tend to be able to trigger faster and faster as well.
Woe betide, your 6 slots all fill with abnormality cards.
At which point your fixer ceases to be human and will become an abnormality of their own, to be either hunted down or dragged off to a research lab or dealt with in a generally unplayable kind of manner. This one's particularly curious as it's managed to infect itself onto you, so it may last and may have hidden proliferation criteria. But
Ooh, hidden proliferation criteria.
Uh-oh.
That's fun. All right. So,
But this particular one is normally when a player would panic, which represents them completely losing control. They would only be able to allocate 1 dice in combat. However, this will allow them to acquire 1 dice plus 1 for every nostalgic sound card. So you actually get more competence the more that you're panicking, or the deeper you are,
Nice.
the closer you are to the star.
It also lowers your maximum limit in terms of stress. So you
That's
panic
not
easier every
important.
time. Yeah. Sazerac stares at the two of you when you kind of come back to reality. Okay, so what the fuck was that?
I know where the train is.
Oh, amazing. The 8-ball told us that, huh?
Something like that.
Okay.
I think that our good boss, the 8-ball, might be hiding a secret that won't show up when we shake it.
Well, there's like a look of genuine concern on Sazerac's face. He looked like he was about to say, "Well, better you than me," but he doesn't wish this fate on either of you. Are you sure both of you are okay? We can find another way to get money for the liquor cabinet if need be. We don't need to do anything too dangerous.
No, we have to go.
What we saw was the biggest mystery yet, and I have to make sure no one else finds out about it.
Well, if you're sure, let's go to where we need to go. Lead the way, Joy.
Yes. And then she does.
Okay.
Just
Is there
robots
like a
Terminator pushing past this busy platform to leave.
is there like a weirdness to Joy's gait at the moment?
She's not really paying much attention to the world around her. She's kind of like a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, no, then Cracked Dawn's doing the exact same thing of just like
Yeah.
very like stilted movements, but definitely following almost like a predetermined path.
You very much do still have control over your thoughts and emotions, but you know there's this, it's almost like a nagging addiction at the back of your mind. And the sound that you heard, it definitely faded away, but it's almost like it never really went. It just kept getting quieter and quieter till it faded below your perception. But looking to the sky, even though I suspect it's probably quite a cloudy, smoggy day in the city, you know precisely where you're being led to, or where this location is, this junkyard that was some distance from the points where the train went missing. And as you begin your walk. So...
No, go ahead, describe.
No, please carry on.
No, I was gonna call out one of my class or background specific cards, pages, which is Crawl Space, which is once per session. When you attempt to break into somewhere, you may take 2 stress damage to immediately know a back alley, sewer system, or similar filthy passage that could be of use to your plans. So I would like to reserve that for now.
Absolutely.
May imminently become useful.
Yeah. So, you think this junkyard itself, you probably using your knowledge of the back streets of this particular sector, and the fact that although it's quite a large amount of space, obviously wherever this thing is, it's probably somewhere amongst the giant piles of rusting cars and detritus. And you think there's probably some sort of storm gully that you could sneak to that would pretty much put you out in the middle of it and circumvent any sort of light guards or anything unusual that there might be, put you straight in the core of the action.
Yeah, unlike his usual disposition, like when finding something grimy to sneak through, which is accompanied by a lot of aplomb, this time around Cracked Dawn just kind of like splashes into it like a fish and just floats up it, almost like he's just wriggling his way through the storm drain. And you hear an echoing of "Follow me."
Oh god, I'm gonna get the jacket filthy. Sazerac removes the jacket and kind of like ties it around his hair like a head wrap to keep it as far away from the sewer water as possible. And starts wading in afterwards. This better pay off, Cracked Dawn, I swear to God.
We'll have no need for dry cleaners once we find out what's going on, because the truth, well, it's worth a lot more.
Yeah, the truth better be worth a lot of fucking money.
Oh, it's worth quite a bit. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, we feel it.
How does Joy approach also going into like storm drain water?
She's deeply unbothered. I think her affect has gone even flatter. So she's just moving quietly, just barely paying attention to the world around her, just with this singular focus. She's now super motivated to just find the location she was shown.
Okay. Well, the fantastic back route that you've discovered, Cracked Dawn, will lead you to the quite succinctly to the scrapyard. So you'll be put out in the middle of this district, and you'll immediately notice almost like tang of ozone in the air, that sort of odd electrical metallic smell. Let's go for this one. That sounds perfect. You
Nothing to worry about here.
Absolutely not. As you exit into the junkyard, some distance away, hidden behind piles of detritus, you can see what looks very much like your missing train. It almost looks like it's been coiled up like some sort of snake in the centre of the yard. Bits of it look like it's not like it's been dropped here, but almost like it's merged with the floor. Almost like it is just like miraculously just appeared here and just become a part of the terrain. You can hear distinct chanting coming from inside the, well, almost like the corral that this will have created.
Can we hear what is being chanted, or is it like glossolalia?
Probably will be able to as you get closer. But I'd like you all, as you'll sort of reach the. Well, is there any precautions or that you'd like to take before progressing? Because the train's relatively high up. You could get on top of it. You could follow almost the walk round in the spiral. Definitely a bit of Junji Ito going on here.
I would like to see if I can pull a little bit of, since this is all scrap metal and stuff, if there's kind of a rusty bar or pipe or something that I can get my hands on, even if I have to pull it away from something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have my my knives at the ready, just scalpels in each hand, ready to go.
Okay.
Also, would you mind turning this down just a hair?
Yeah, absolutely. How's that?
A little bit more.
Ta-da.
That should be
Quite
fine. Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Okay, so first thing you'll notice as you sort of reach the outer wheel of this train, is it looks like there was some level of impact as the train arrived here, and it definitely looks like the poor souls in the front carriages took the brunt of this, looking at the red on the windows. I won't go into too much graphic detail, but we'll just use the term chunky salsa as one of my friend's favourite.
Oh my goodness,
Jesus
that makes
Christ.
it worse.
Oh, what a beautiful way to describe that. Thank you.
Anytime. And it looks like this is quite hard on the outer reaches of the train. As you progress sort of round the wheel, you can hear one voice sort of extolling above the shouting. Brethren, soon the star will awaken, and we will be able to travel to that place beyond this mortal realm, where the place where we will all be as equals. And then you hear another voice, which sounds like a bit of a grumpy old scientist grumpy old man with a definitely hint of what the hell are you all doing in his voice, going, "No, you fools! It's not what you think it is. It's a fragment of something dangerous. This thing was part of an 11th level aberration. You need to get away from it. You could destroy half the city with this thing. You need to stop. Relax, brother. It'll all come to us soon. Do not worry."
Crackdown whispers to Joy and Sazerac, "So, we're going to go on the train, right? That's what we're doing, right?"
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Hey, what? Hey, you can come with us. We got a ticket. We both got tickets, and we can take passengers with us.
Yeah, I don't think the train is going to be particularly operational at this stage.
Just a quick question: do we still have the 8-ball with us?
Absolutely, yes.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It'll have been quite quiet and well behaved since its outburst earlier. So, they will reach a point where the snake trail of the train closes off, and you'll find there is a door that you will be able to go in.
Nice. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. It opens. It's openable.
Yep. No, absolutely. It looks like it's been wrenched open.
Right.
Also, in fact, it'll be at this point. I won't make you make checks for it. You'll notice it looks like in all the areas sort of around the edge of the train, it looks like strange glyphs have been drawn, almost like some sort of. It's weird. It almost looks a cross between like nonsense magic and bits of code. Almost like someone's made a summoning circle out of code to perhaps bring the train here to defer it from its true route.
Is there any way to manipulate what's inscripted in order to reverse it?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. So let's probably a logic check. I think this should be quite a hard one. So,
all right, then I will roll 3.
Can I assist in any way?
I believe if you want to donate a dice rather than Joy having to use all of hers,
Rolls still cap at 3, so you can roll 1 fewer dice, Joy. And
then you can have one of Ruben's just to keep your pot
all right.
at a healthy number.
Right, rolling. Let's see how we do. Okay, so 2 and 4 is 6, and 2 is 8, plus 3 is 11.
That is very good. So it sort of makes sense. It's very similar to what you saw on the signals and things in the printout, where it almost looks like, as you probably surmise, that somebody for their own mal means has managed to create almost some sort of magic to effectively pull the train from the tracks and bring it crashing here. You think if you have a play with some of the code, and you sort of see several bits of the runes glowing slightly, and you think it might start to have an effect, just not quite yet. It's going to take a bit of time to fire off and may give you some sort of advantages, we'll say, in the coming fight.
Okay, excellent.
Cards
What
on
do
the
you,
table there, huh?
Well, yes.
What do we do about the people here? About the cultists and the guy in the chair? What's the plan?
Well, if we want to get the payload off of the train, we have to probably remove them. I'm up for making some new art. How about you?
Ooh, yes. I haven't bashed anyone with my crowbar in about 15 minutes. That's quite long.
Sazerac looks surprised and slightly wide-eyed at you both. If there are people here who are still alive and who were spirited away by the train, we've got to rescue them.
Oh, yes, that's why I manipulated those glyphs. I'm just simply talking about whoever the cultists are, who probably brought them here for a sacrifice.
Oh,
They'll make beautiful art.
Right, I understand. Right. Yes, let's kill them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely. So, you'll progress down the train. As you've got towards these ones, they look like they've probably had people in, but there's either people that look like they're either unconscious or in some sort of, I want to say, almost fugue state as you get closer towards the end of the train. It looks like some have probably been moved, judged by the number of bags and things that there are. There's less people here than there should be. It'll be at this point as you reach the last carriage, which is you can tell by the doors, which look like they've rather obviously been forced. This was probably what would have been a secure baggage train. And as you head in, you'll be greeted by the sight of a large statue, which looks like it's been taken from a box, which sits at the end of this room, upon the front of which stands a gentleman and several cultists, represented by these two cultists here.
Yeah, I mean, what is a detective story without a leggy blonde, right?
There's always a dame.
Exactly
She
that.
was legs, all legs, a lot of legs.
I
She
know
had
you
no
didn't
torso.
intend.
She had no head. She was just a pair of
Of
legs.
legs.
70 of them.
And we knew that those legs were trouble, every one of them.
All 18.
I know that you didn't mean to make the cultist float, but
Indeed, indeed. The I don't know, we'll identify as the High Cultist will be continuing his speech, which are on the similar lines of have you heard the sound of the star and all this. And you'll see several of the cultists with big smiles on their face who appear to have dragged what looks like an unconscious passenger to place their hands upon the statue, and at which point you just see them almost be drawn. They go transparent, and then they're sucked into it, almost like something disappearing into a black hole.
Oh, that can't be good.
Oh.
You see the gentleman that you heard shouting earlier, who's wearing the outfit of very much the garb of a scientist, who'll see you coming in, as he appears to be probably about second or third in the queue for getting pushed into this thing. And he'll shout up to you, you, I don't care what office you're with, you've got to stop them. If this thing comes online, it could decimate half the city.
half the city. Oh god.
Does that half include us?
I mean,
Yeah.
pretty fucking likely, I'd say.
I mean, at least a 50-50 shot, right?
Mm-hmm. No, do we take that risk? Hey, what do you know about the packages?
He'll sort of say that they're from L-Corp, from one of the labs that broke. One of the cultists at this point jabs him in the stomach with a very sort of happy smile on the face. Quiet, brother. Don't alarm yourself. Don't spoil the mood.
I was having a conversation with the man tied to a chair.
The High Cultist will smile at you and say, "Oh, welcome, brothers and sisters." It's like, have you come to hear the sound too?
Yes, the sound of your death knell.
Oh, well, she'll be an interesting dance. Perhaps a final play out on this dark and quiet and dismal realm before we go to a better place together. Thus, we shall have the Sanctum of the Blue Star.
Star icon cannot be targeted. If a cultist is reduced to 0 health, the star icon takes 100 damage.
Oh,
Each-
all the legs.
Each round at initiative 0, add the attack card Sound of the Star. The cultist
Yo,
takes health
she's-
damage, they also take the same amount of stress. Cultists are immune to panic.
She a star. and she got
Okay.
Wait, 401? Oh no.
eight.
Oh no.
Oh, that's fun.
Gee whiz.
Okay, let's go and find all my cards I need for this. Cultist. There's a lot of blue dice in this one. Maybe too many blue dice, but I'll fix that as we go.
We'll
along.
life patch as we go.
Exactly. Where's... Yes, do you hear the sound? I did have great fun.
Hear the people sing the song of
I love that
Nike.
the magic here is all made of heart emojis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's deeply amusing to me.
They just get that.
Yeah, the group chat for these cultists
Oh,
must be
they
really
go
lovely.
faster.
Hmm.
They
Where's
immediately go faster.
where's my sound of the start?
There's a lot of cards on the board now.
Correct.
Have
Hang
you,
on a minute.
Tom, what if you didn't?
What if we just won, you know?
Yeah, how about
Give me 2 seconds. I'm just I appear to be short a card. Is it that one?
Listen, I know I killed, like, your character died last session, but we can bring him back.
There we go.
Oh, what's this card? Let me have a look.
So that is going on the board at effectively initiative 0 for everyone.
Any character at 0 stress takes 3 damage, gains 1 protection and 1 strength less. Oh, so they take damage and then get stronger. I see.
Okay, everyone, don't
In
panic.
fact, I'll just stick that down there. You can remember that
Oh, yeah,
box.
yeah. Cool.
Okay, so that can go up there, and that's... okay, so... Music is rolling.
Mm-hmm.
We shall add our cultists. I shall move these cards down here and complain the fact, actually... Where's my...
Oh, fling them into somebody's hand. You can fling them into a non-player hand and we don't get to
Yeah,
see
I might do that just for ease of me picking them all
Super
up.
useful for maintaining additional board space.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me do that. Whoop. I'm just going to go and scutt all these over here. And vaguely remember we were giving the cultists only have a mighty 4 sanity each. But do have...
Ruin has come to a detective agency.
and then let's pop that down for the high cultist. Note they may call some more people if you start whiffling through them far too quickly, because there are quite a few cultists here. So that's my high cultist. That's cultist 1. Where's cultist 2 hiding? There he is. Lovely.
For the note of people tuning in, the way that we've designed the system allows for kind of free exploration of like card and enemy design. There's lots of basic rules for how encounters work, and then you get to have fun designing boss fights that have odd mechanics like this.
Indeed.
So
Let's see
this
if it
mechanic, the mechanics of this fight are all of Tom's design. I'm very interested to see how it's going to shake out.
Absolute mess. So let's get some initiatives down for the cultists. We have 4 and 2.
All right. Let's see how fast we're moving. 5. Nice.
Were those
Where am
blue?
I? Let's see here.
2.
Oh no. That means I win, right?
We'll do our best to find a way to protect you.
You know what? I'm going to ad-lib those to red, I think. Otherwise it's going to be a bit...
Well, these are
If I'm
red
playing
+1 attacks, huh?
Yeah, I think we're going to go with that as a quick fix, because I think I've got too many blue dice otherwise.
Sure.
For this round. So we've got that one and that one. So we've got...
Oh man,
4
they
and
are all going for me. Hell.
No, hang on. I'm just getting them down. I'll move them about in a second.
Cool.
Well, there's 1 at 4, 1 at 2. So let's go for that one there. And then that one's at -2, so that's at 1. That one's going to be at 2. Oh, hang on. Those are 2. I remember how this works. Because that one isn't actually getting 1. There we go. So there's only 3 attacks on the board at the moment. So that one at 2. That one. Okay, lovely. Right, I've now sorted that mess out. Apologies. Right.
Oh, now we have
Let's
to work
rock.
out how we're going to allocate dice.
Oh, shit. Okay. Joy, what's your HP at?
I was, thanks to our mysterious meat, refilled to 8.
Okay, right. Gotcha.
I'm just full of meat and therefore healthy.
Praise the meat.
Okay.
Let's see.
Right. We're going to go absolutely ham and start beating up a cultist.
Okay.
I'm going to begin with a Backstreet's Dash, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
I will have to allot. I'm gonna do 1 defensive die.
You want to take them out of your
Oh,
pot
yeah,
spinning?
sorry. I realized that as I was doing it.
No problem.
1 defensive die, and I think I want to empty my pool and throw out 2 attack die.
Okay, so you can move your defensive dice up to the "We Are All Sinners" line if you'd like, and then you've got those 2 attacks. So the High Cultist himself will put 2 defenses there. The Rise, my brethren, and we'll go for 1 against one of your dice there. So I should probably name these as Tom's dice. Actually, hang on a minute. Let's in fact just do that. Yeah. Let's just call those what's got this. I can have a quick cultist. There we go.
I miss when we fought. Just the worst threat we could face was not lactose intolerant people.
That was against Juicy. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Wonderful. Right, so rocking down from the top, we'll have a 1-off and a 1-off, Nathan, at a +1 to each.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna immediately start dashing through the train carriage towards the head cultist. I'm gonna bash your fucking skull in. Re-rolling the first one. Let's go. 5 + 3.
I get 7.
5 + 3 is 8, so I deal just 1 point of damage.
Okay. Pop. Second attack.
Let's go. Ooh, big.
Ooh.
+3 is 7.
Okay, so that'll be another 4 to the High Cultist. Oh, actually, hang on. I'm being silly. I need to be taking these from... the High Cultist is panicking. He smiles.
Oh, right, because they're immune to panic.
Yeah. I don't have to remember that.
Why give them stress at all, then? Come on.
Then we move down to the "We Are All Sinners."
Sorry, just to check. Because I was dealing red dice and succeeded, that should go to health unless there's a rule that's saying it's...
Oh, it was... I believe the... cultists take health damage. They also take the same
amount. So it's
same
still
amount.
dealing
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. Apologies, that was me.
That's fine.
So we shall have a roll off against Nurse Joy with the before the class. You will lose 1 stress.
Heck, okay.
As we are all sinners in the eyes of the star, and then they will make their attack.
And I will defend.
Ooh.
Oh no.
4 + 3 is 7.
It's fine. You managed to knock a point of sanity off the cultist, which also deals 1 point of health.
Lucky.
Oh, goody.
Nice. Then we move down to initiative 2, which is going to be Nathan again, which will be the red dice, as I decided that there's too many blue dice and we need a few more red dice in the encounter.
I'm going to punch this cultist in the mouth.
We will all soon meet as stars. Oh!
You're attacking the wrong guy, mate. 9 damage.
Okay, and that's cultist 2, so he is immediately knocked to 0, stress, and takes another 5, going down to 3.
He attacked with a red die, so that's unopposed damage. That's just full 9, baby. Die.
Yeah, but he takes the... Oh, no, that's right. Yep. So that cultist falls, and there's this moment as you sort of... You want to describe your attack.
I think there is... like, he pulls out 2 sparking pool balls, 1 in each hand, and just kind of goes for, like, a clapping overhead smash motion.
Nice. So as you sort of crack this cultist, he looks like he goes down, and he'll look at you through sort of the blood and the slightly frizzy hair. It's like, it is my time, brothers. And I shall be drawn backwards, disappearing into the star, which appears to make it glow slightly more, but cracks start appearing. And then finally we have another resolution of we are all sinners and a defense dice. So you will lose 1 point of sanity, Ruben, and then that's your blues. I need a red dice.
Here you go.
Vex freeze dash, which means I roll my blue and I add my finesse +1.
Yep. So that will be a 4.
This will be a 5.
Okay. So that cultist loses his remaining stress. Attack. And
He'll take 1 health damage.
1 health dice. Correct. And then you've got some red dice to roll as well, I believe.
I do. I've got 2 of them. So I roll these
Unopposed damage. Let's go.
at the same time.
Yep. Oof.
That is 8 plus my highest red, right?
Yep. Okay, so
Ding,
that
ding,
is
ding,
thorough
ding.
enough to take down another one of these cultists.
So, little bit of scene description. Are we inside of the train or outside it?
So you're still currently inside of the train, but as this cultist goes down, he's suddenly drawn backwards.
Can I describe my move?
Oh, please do, please do.
What I want to do is I rush at this attacking cultist. I take out my crowbar and I jab it through one of the passenger seats, one of the seats, so it sticks out of the other side, acting as a fulcrum. I jump up onto the bit that sticks out and use it as a jumping board, as a springboard, to kick this cultist's nose bone through his brain.
Oof. He will collapse over backwards, head banging with an audible gong against the floor, before he too sort of explodes into light and is drawn backwards into the blue star. Not doing 1 point of damage, that'd be a bit bad. Just another 300 cultists to go.
At the rate this is going, we'll be fine. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I'm waiting until I run out of dice, and then I'm going to start sweating.
So, any characters at 0 stress? There is an
we haven't
audible.
resolved Juicy's attacks yet. I think.
Oh no! Apologies. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I am going to attack.
I think the head cultist is the only one left alive right now.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Please
So
do.
let's
Please do.
roll. So that's a 5 and a 1 plus 2 is an 8.
Okay, he takes the solid crack.
Nice.
He sort of goes down onto one knee, throws his arms up to the heavens, and goes, "My brethren, we need more." As there's all of a sudden this sound of the sonar pulse from the star, as he is completely erased from existence, and another cultist stands up, throws up his hood, and the orbs that were surrounding the previous cultist start surrounding him instead, as he stands up as the next.
Jeepers.
Immediately sacrifices himself for somebody else.
If I can
Of
kill you,
course.
I'll kill myself.
These ones appear slightly harder than the last ones, because that's
Yes.
the trend that we go with.
Yeah, Rule
that's
of
very
Three's
helpful.
Mario boss fight. Yeah.
Exactly. So, let's rock this off again. Let me steal those. And we'll move into the third movement.
Rolling speed die.
Pop.
Mhm.
Pop.
3.
5 and 5. Wonderful.
Ooh, a 3, I'll take that. That's middling, but fine.
Okay, so let's start popping things down for people.
Rude. What an attack.
Uh-oh.
I was hoping they'd roll quite high. Let's
Yeah, I
see.
bet you were.
However, we'll use the proper ones this time, so they'll actually be blue dice. So we'll have, I'll put 2 there for defending cultists, and then 3 there for this guy. And then we've got 2. We are all sinners as well. So that was a 5 and 5. Yeah, let's do it like that. Yep. Okay. So I think that covers me for.
Oh, all right.
Gosh,
What am I getting?
one of the
I'm
attacks
gonna
coming in.
attack once, defend twice. That's what I'm gonna do.
Quick question of order. So I've
Just in
allocated,
case.
I've
Mhm.
allocated my dice, and I've got one card that says only blue inactive for the requirement. Does that already trigger, or is that next turn?
So you have to already have, if you're only rolling blue dice this turn, then Endure is active.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Okay, now this still makes sense to my strategy. My strategy.
Ooh.
And then during my turn, I'm gonna pop the head cultist in the mouth again.
Okay, if you want to put your dice on any cards as they're coming at you.
Yeah, I've already done that.
Okay. We'll put one there for the cultist. We'll put one. Do you want to put any of your dice on that one, Juicy? For
Yeah, I will probably. Ooh, let's see here. Yeah, I'll put one defense die at
okay.
least.
We'll have the cultist put one defense die there, and we do actually have a remaining correct amount of dice to have clashes all across the board. Wonderful. Right, so let's rock down the initiatives again. So we are all sinners. We'll go right to left this time to vary it up. So Nathan, you will lose one stress, and then
Okay. Lose one stress, I'm 3 stress. And I try and defend myself.
okay, so I'll be at 5.
3 plus 1 is 4, so I take 1 damage.
Okay. The second we are sinners resolution. So you will lose 1 stress, you see, and then we roll. I get a 4 to beat. On this one.
Oh,
Oh.
yep, sorry. Oop. There we go. 3 plus 3, 6.
Okay, so that will. So you only got 4, so you'll knock 2 stress off. It's cultist 1, which is that one, so 2, and also health. Right, around to initiative 4. So we'll have several
Ruben's
rolls off
raving
Ruben,
over here.
which are all
You
going to be
win.
all blue +1s for me.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
6.
You rolled 6, I rolled a 7.
Okay, so that will deal 1 point. Was this going to the high cultist, or was this going to the
Well-
the new high cultist, or the?
It has to go to the high cultists if they're blocking it.
Oh yes, of course it does. Of course it does.
Yeah,
So that
what Nathan said.
So
What
the
a
high
mo-
cultist is basically jumping in the way of your attacks, going like, no!
leave my brethren alone. Next one. 3.
Oh, 3.
So they tink off each other, and then finally.
Oh, that's a 5.
Ooh, that's also a 5. So another sort of. Oh,
+1.
no, it's 6. So it'll be another 1 point of stress, and +1 haste to one of the cultists. We'll go for cultist 1, so you can have haste. Put that over there so I remember. He has got a free shoe. A free shoe.
Oh man, I wanted that.
Then moving down back to Cesarek again. This was a regular cultist. No, this was the high cultist one, wasn't it? I seem to recall. Actually, no, lies. Regular cultist stepping in. Plop.
Hold on a second. Yes. Please. Okay, there we go. Rolling. Please. Hey! Big numbers. 9 damage coming
Boom.
at you.
Ooh.
That'll be 6 damage to cultist 1.
Just a head-shaking uppercut.
It'll be extremely rattled. Over to you, Juicy. So you've got a red dice versus the cultist's 1 dice, I believe.
Yes, correct. So let us attack. Ooh, I got a 5.
You get a 3, so that'll be another 2 to. I think that'll be. That was cultist 2, wasn't it? So. Ta-ta-ta. And then finally, the last two. So we have a Do You Hear the Sound, Ruben? Do you hear the sound?
You have allocated no blocks to.
Okay. So you, which does, so it'll just be flat damage to you.
You know what? I intercede.
Oh, shoot.
Oh shit.
Yes.
Ooh, well,
I'm
that
fast
was a
enough
good.
to intercede, so I leap in the way of this attack instead.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel I shall inflict the disarmed and fragile upon you as well. So
That's fine. I will. Well, it's affecting me rather than Crackdawn. So yeah, my defense is forced to be lowered by one. Good. That's just 4.
that is sufficient. You'll put 2 points of sanity. Yeah, the stress damage on cultist 1, which is enough for him to also be drawn back into the star.
Good.
What did you say, Saz?
That was close. What's your back?
You idiot! I could have taken it. But thank you.
And then while I'm busy kind of like checking if Crackdawn is okay, an undefended attack is coming at my back now.
I will defend against it.
Oh!
Oh shit!
Hot damn. Hot damn.
Let's see. Ooh, I got 5.
So that gets knocked down to 4, but that is sufficient to upset that cultist.
Hot dog.
That will be 3, wasn't it? Aha.
A hand comes into frame with like scalpels between each finger like Wolverine and blocks an attack.
Yes, insert metal anime noises.
Wonderful. So we reach the end of the.
Sorry, does the cultist also take health damage?
Yes, it does. Sorry. So that's that one. Sorry, 2 wasn't it? That was 3. There we go. I remember the rules of my own system. So we reach the sound of the star. So there's the audible gong. Cultist 2 is on 0 sanity. Eyes bleeding of strange blue light. I hear the sound and it makes me stronger. That cultist has got haste, protection, and strength.
So they are faster, block better, and attack better.
Yep.
Whoop,
I'll
that's
just
the
put that
sound
on there. I'll just use that as the whoop whoop. Right, let's pull those back as we enter the final round. Let's go for the abnormality. That's potentially final round. We'll see. Let's go for the general abnormality tune as well, because I like that. See the sparks flickering from the statue at the end of the room. Either going to be destroyed or hatch into something beautiful. We just don't quite know.
I'm hoping for the former, not the latter.
Indeed. So, the Ubermensch cultist, and we'll have another cultist step up. This one made of sterner stuff than his comrades. So we have 3 dice on the Rise My Brethren. Cultist number 2 gets a 3, which is going to be not enough to proc his big one, but we'll give him that one. And where's cultist 2? Where are you, cultist 2? There. No. A shorter. Where's my initiative 0? Cultist 2 one. Oh, it's that one. Yeah. That's the right one. So that's initiative 2 goes to 3, so we will put that one. Let's stick that one there. And he also has a We'll Soon Meet As Stars, so we get a dice for that. And the second cultist gets a 5. Wonderful. That's what we want to see. Cultist 1 competency. So there is a lot of blue dice being thrown in this one.
Really trying to be defensive here.
Yeah. Pulled you out so the star will wear you down, hopefully.
Why are you getting so defensive?
Aha.
All we're trying to do is take down your god.
So that was a 5. So let's go
If
pester
it can be
Ruben.
defeated, it's not a god.
Then we have... Oh, is that the right one? That's that one, yeah. I just got 2 of that for some reason. Well done, Tom.
Quick mechanic check. You're allowed to play more than 1 card at a time, right?
No, it's only 1 card.
Oh, shit!
Ah.
Well, interceding is just like a call-out, right? Yeah,
You can intercede even without necessarily using that card.
Gotcha. Then my
Yep.
plan is not in ruins.
Where's my cultist 1 card? I've lost my remaining Do You Hear the Sound? Where is it?
Is it
that's
accidentally in
that.
the stack over here?
It is. That's exactly why I can't see it. So that's at initiative -4 from cultist 2. So that's going to be at 1. Who wants to hear the sound? Let's go over here with that one.
At initiative 1, you say?
Yeah, thank you. And then that one up there, and that one up there. And then lots of blue dice for the cultists. Lovely.
They're just going to jump in the way of any attempt to try and kill anything.
Yeah. Okay. So let's clear up any dice that I've got over here, so I'm not making a mess. We've got. Where would your dice like to go, Nurse Joy?
There.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. Which of the 3 cultists would you like to go at?
I'd like to go at the head cultist, but I don't think that's advantageous, so we're gonna go after this one.
Okay, I'll just put his dice down there if you want to stick it at your initiative. That's fine.
Yep, sure, that's fine.
I'll keep that one in that column, so that's all. It's like easy enough. So that Nathan, you've got your dice to allocate.
Yes. Sorry, give me a second while I work out how I'm going to be popping this. Can't really use that. Okay. No, we don't need to use our cards. Our cards are all running low on dice. And then I am gonna...
Oh, how's everybody doing on health?
I'm good. I'm at like 9 health.
Okay.
I've been winning my clashes very luckily. Otherwise, these would be going very badly.
A little low on stress, though.
I can't do anything for you there.
We're just going balls to the wall, baby. Just keep smashing.
Okay.
That's a weird place to put them, but I'll go.
let's have the high cultist will put his dice in the way of you there, Nathan, and cultist 1. I think that's all the dice allocated, so those will just whiff. Okay, down the initiative. Ruben, we are all sinners. Would you like to lose 1 stress for me, please?
Okay.
What does that put you at?
3.
Okay, you're alright. You're fine.
I'm hanging in there by a thread.
So that'll be 3.
I got 5.
Okay, so that'll be 2 and 2 on that cultist, which is that cultist there. So next, moving down, let's go left to right this time. Nurse Joy, you're making an attack which is being defended by the mad skills of cultist number 2, who is currently roided up slightly by the power of the star, so he'll be getting an additional +1.
How it goes.
So it's going to be a 6.
I got a 7.
Hey!
Ooh, nice.
Point of damage goes through.
Nice.
cultist number 2 hanging in there. So next we've got
Head
Nathan.
cultist, let's start punching.
Nope.
6.
Okay, so that's going to be 4 damage to both. 1, 2, 3, 4. The new record says second one.
Let's go again.
Ooh.
Another 6.
That would be a 6 as well.
It clashes like proper blade. I think like even though we can throw these pool balls. Sazerac has been fighting at like melee range this entire time and is now face to face with the head priest.
So pool ball in a sock is at a stage of the.
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely kind of just clocking people in the head with them directly. It's kind of brutal, but this is it. You can give up here.
Done, Ruben's 1. Next one down the list is We Are All Sinners from
With
Cultist
Cultist
2.
who decided
So-
to attack me. It's gonna go poorly for you, friend. I do
So
lose
you
1
were-
stress.
Yep. And then we'll have our roll off, him getting a +1 due to the
additional strength.
Oh,
okay,
no.
7.
You describe what happens to poor cultist 2.
Yeah, I
The
think...
man's a legend.
Cultist 2, you want to be part of the star so bad? Just grabs him by the arm and then just judo flips him directly at the statue. And like one of the juddery, like angular points of the legs just gets the dude in the back and there's a crunch.
He'll go back and once like the others have himself drawn into the star and vanish. The star icons spluttering and flickering somewhat, seemingly waning, you might say. However, this is still going to let cultist number 1 still attempt to do his attack.
Is there any blue dice remaining?
I have 1.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good, so you should be able to defend with that, as you've got spare.
Oh, gonna intercede? Sure.
Okay. All right, then.
Yeah, let's go.
Ooh.
It's a 5. But
Is that including the -1 for the disarm that they put on you?
oh no, that was put on Zaz, I think.
No, it'll be on whoever takes the
Yeah,
clash.
this specific attack inflicts 1
Okay.
disarmed and 1 fragile.
No, then it's 4.
Okay, so the cultist gets 6, so you'll take 2 points of damage.
But I do have 2 protection.
Ah, you do. So that will, in fact, plink off to damage.
Yeah,
So with-
I rush in with like sheathing the crowbar like mid dash at Joy, and then like holding it behind my head as I crouch down in front of her, just like a block whatever's coming at her. It's like, and I go, just in time.
Oh, my hero.
So
Okay, by the way, Joy, you're cleaning the window when we get back.
Oh, is that how it's going to be? You're cute.
He winks.
Stop
So,
flirting and start fighting cultists already.
So I think at this point, the star icon is thoroughly cracking and starting to break. The high cultist himself will fling his arms out. The new high cultist, as the white light starts to fill the room. He says, "You're all too late. The star will be birthed. The city will be saved. What would you like to do?"
This
Smash
thing
some
has-
heads?
Yeah, this thing has
yeah.
like 1 point of health left, but we can't
Yeah.
damage it.
Do we
So we
wanna do,
need
like,
to
a
go and
team
hit
attack?
another cultist. There's one that's flinked.
Yes.
There is the lead cultist still has 10 health, and cultist 1 still has 8.
I'm happy to move into non-combat at this point, as it's probably more into drama.
I think a team attack would be appropriate here.
Oh, I like that there is some kind of like, I fire a pool ball at Crackdawn, who manages to like.
Yeah, I baseball bat it.
Yeah. Ooh, do you are you the kind of nurse that has like a variety of poisons on you, Joy?
You know what? I do have. Oh, I can't use ingredient prep because I only have 1 red in my pool. But I would imagine that, I mean, part of being a medical practitioner is knowing how to save people and knowing what kills people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure I have something on my person.
There
Douse
is
it in
a-
prednisone.
A little handy dandy arsenic?
Excellent. Sazerac like pulls, I think not the 8-ball, but an 8-ball from their coat and offers it, like extends it down towards Joy.
Yep, she'll grab it and then she will douse it in the toxic mishmash that she keeps on her person. And she'll throw it over to Crackdown.
Yeah, Crackdown is already in the batter up position, and you hear like the sound effect from Smash as it goes flying straight into the crystal heart of the statue.
Okay, there's an audible shattering sound. All the cultists suddenly fall like their strings have been cut, and the statue returns to its more dormant state. And silence sort of descends upon the train. Until it suddenly doesn't, as you suddenly see outside a flash and a glow of blue, as presumably the coding that Nurse Joy had played with earlier suddenly fires up, and you see the entire outside of the train track sort of disappear with a flash, and there's a moment of just absolute silence. Probably means I should stop the music, doesn't it? And then you appear in the warp station, and the train's true location. Probably to a sound of sighs of relief from the passengers outside, followed by probably a lot of screaming as the the train becomes apparently obvious of what's happened to all the passengers inside. And a look from the person who's probably still on the phone at the moment, who just has this, oh, for sake, I'm not paid enough for this, across their face. The man who was tied to the chair, who was quite close in line for sacrifice, says, "Oh, well done, well done. Which office are you? I'll see that you're all fully recompensed for this. This is sterling job. New Elcorp thanks you."
Can we like hand our business cards, all three of us at the same time?
Yeah, our faces kind of like fully in shadow, just entirely annoyed.
Thank you. And I think that'll be a relatively nice point to start doing some of the wrap-ups of as things actually we've heard that one a bit. As the camera zooms back at the signs of presumably rather a lot of warp crew turning up to get people off their train and make sure that it's not damaged, and start doing the PR triage that will no doubt be required. I suppose there's one question as Jimmy, you have rather a lot of talking with people, maybe even managed to slip away unnoticed. But I suppose there's one question I'm going to ask Nurse Joy and sorry, Ruben, I've Crackdown. Sorry. You feel the effect of the abnormality fading from you. Do you let it go, or do you still hear the sound?
I think Joy still hears the sound.
I think Crackdawn lets it go.
Yeah.
The mystery
Wonderful.
solved. You no longer need to think about it.
Exactly.
Indeed.
I had the encounter with the perplexing. I don't need any more evidence of it.
Love it.
I think like as we make our way through the crowd, I use my crowbar to like pull in one passenger in particular, and it's the ritzy-looking fella whose train ticket we stole, and I hand it back before just disappearing into the crowd again.
Lovely. You look thoroughly confused.
Hey, Joy, are you sure you're alright?
Yeah, I feel fine.
I suppose that's all we can ask for in this fucked up city we live in. Who wants a drink? I know somewhere.
We got money, and hey, it might not be Saturday yet, but how about we call this Saturday night?
That
I
works for
definitely
me.
know a place for that.
I think we'll just have the nice the camera panning out, possibly getting distant and distant as the city fades into a mere speck.
Zooming away from the table and TTS. Excellent.
I should have. If I'd been forward planning, you could have panned the camera up and there would have been a blue star that I'd managed to put on the thing. But sadly, I didn't think that far ahead.
To try and do. No.
I wish I was a cleverer man. No.
Flip the table as it all just disappears into the distance.
On that,
Wonderful.
then let's go back to the our little opening screen. Oh, what a good session!
That was
a
really
good
fun.
session.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. No problem. It was. Thank you all for helping test that. It's there was a bit of I think encounter design that I'd certainly like to take away from that when we're going to the version 2.0. I think.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, right? Part of this was both. My experience in designing tabletop RPGs is very much in the world of narrative-driven bits and pieces, but I struggle with systems that have a lot of like statistical moving parts, but I really like the customizability of setting my own unique way of expressing my equipment and way of handling the world and stuff like that. So I really wanted to reflect that in this, but the numbers are my weak point. So like, you know, with the fact that we're exploring that and it's working out nicely is good. I'm very, very glad that that's been going as well as it has.
Indeed.
And I look forward to designing an encounter myself with my own kind of perspective of how I would design both encounters and like non-combat scenarios and things like that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Happy for comments and kudos if you want to kick off with those as well.
Yes. For those who do not know, at the end of our sessions, as long as it's not silly o'clock in the morning and I have the energy to do so, we like to go around the table and talk about cool moments somebody else did, just to gas each other up, because, you know, we're all astounding actors and performers, and it's nice to recognize the cool shit y'all do. I think I really liked the development of Joy as a character over the course of that sesh. You're kind of you have that dry secretary energy going, but then it went different as things started breaking a little bit, and I found that subtle change really cool. I really like that.
Thanks. I really liked how Tom. I really liked how you were able to adapt combat on the fly, really like rapidly identifying what we needed to really enjoy the combat itself, but also just being able to work within the constraints of sort of your own design and setting to make it flow a little better.
Yeah.
That I thought you did really fluidly, and that was well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I really like the subtle changes in Saz's Sazerac and Saz's character about like using the pool balls as a ranged thing, as something under control, and then slowly but surely just using it as melee weapons as stakes were raised.
Just panicking.
Really yeah, I think that's
I definitely
really good...
pictured like they're the kind of character that if they were in like a zombie movie would eventually just have somebody pinned to the ground just whacking them with the pool ball over and over until they're like, okay, I've stopped panicking, I can get up now. Yesterday we had Delta Green going, and when you have your panic moments in that, you have the like fight, flight, or freeze responses, and sometimes when you hit fight, it just means even if it's a dead body and it's inert, you're still attacking it because you're freaking out too bad. And I think Saz is definitely that kind of person.
Also, the name Sazerac really brought me joy. I just had to say that.
We randomly rolled our characters. Part of the reason why this game is OSR inspired. A lot of games in that genre, most specifically like Morkborg and Cyborg is the most widely recognized example of that genre of game, and that really encourages random rolling of characters with a little bit of customizing our stats. And I had the gambler background as of my characters. So it's like, well, okay. They've previously had a life of a bit of a bruiser, and they like to gamble. Clearly, they're a pool shark with a drinking problem. So,
They did very well. Thank you all for playing. It was very good fun to run. I said one of the things I was umming and ahhing before the session had started was like best way to do plot hooks and things. They said, 8-ball officer. Hang on, this could something a bit. I think Ruin, you'd come out with something that was maybe suggesting something a bit more esoteric for the office itself. And it's like, we can roll with this. No, good fun.
Yes. Yeah. And in about an hour and 15 minutes, we will have our final session of Phantom Arts Fest. We will be playing Synthesis, an entirely experimental new tabletop RPG. I do believe from Red Mage Ray, who is most well known for doing lots of fabulous GMing with friends who roll dice on charity streams and the like. They have written some tabletop RPGs in the past, but this is the first one that they've actually published. So I always love when I think it's a bit of a rite of passage that if you're a fan of tabletop RPGs, to have a go at designing your own game, because you get to consolidate all the things you like about playing tabletop RPGs in a game that's your own. So I'm always super excited to go and try new games by GMs who have like a lot of experience, because there's usually a lot of insight there. So tune in, please, at 10 p.m. British summertime. That is 5 p.m. Eastern, right back here on this channel. But we will, for now, pass things over to... Gonna check that link from Cold Fusion. Also, look, not so good. Yes. Very much that. We are going to pass things over to fellow VTuber Maru DeCinco, who I believe is doing Gunpla building right now. She does. She is one of those people who really admires the big like agency VTubers and does so much gosh darn work to be up to that polish and standard. Her work is amazing. So please do give Maru a big scream, clap, and good cheer. And we will see you all in a little bit over an hour. Raid is going. I have been your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blades. This has been the Neoncaster Twitch channel, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Farewell!
Ciao!
Ah.